Today is kind of a different video for my channel. I shared in my homeschool video where I kind of came back to YouTube and explained where we'd been that we had been a foster family. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it's kind of a big day in our house. So let me kind of take you back to where our foster care journey began. We started fostering in the summer of 2021. We started to get our license in June, and then it took us like 4 months to get our license. June, July, August, September, yeah. The beginning of September we got licensed, and at that time we felt that the right thing for our family was to foster newborns. So we fostered 2 newborns. We had a little girl. She only stayed with us for 5 days, and then she went with a family member. And then the day that she left, we welcomed another baby right into our home within a couple hours of her leaving, because there was a situation where there was a baby that needed a placement, and it was a little boy. His name is Leo, and his case ultimately led to us adopting him in the end of September 2022, so a little bit over a year later, but almost exactly. So he was 2 weeks old when he came to our home. He came straight from the hospital to us. He had been born prematurely, and so anyway, that's kind of where our foster care journey started. If you would like to know more about kind of that story and how we ended up adopting Leo and all of that, and just kind of my thoughts and take on foster care, you can see I have a bunch of highlights on my Instagram, in my Instagram reels, titled Foster Care, parts 1, 2, 3, I think, and 4. So you can learn more about that. And maybe I'll share more of those stories like in a sit down like this on YouTube in the future. But right after we adopted Leo, we felt very confident that we were done fostering. We were also in a very transitional period in our life where we were living in a rental. We were building this house that I'm sitting in now, and it was just like a busy season. And Leo was our 6th kiddo that we had welcomed to our family. So we have 5 kids that are bio kiddos, and then Leo, our adopted son, who we just love and adore. And anyone who knows him in real life and has met him loves and adores him too. He's quite the personality. So anyway, we decided to close our foster care license in the fall, right after, days after we adopted Leo. We decided to close our foster care license and felt really confident about that. And then we moved into our home in November, literally the day before Thanksgiving. We got settled in this home, and it's the first home that I feel like has fit our family of 8 since we've had 8 people living here, or even just 7 people living in our home. We've lived in some smaller homes so that we could be debt-free and build this house, and kind of the way we were able to do that is because we lived in smaller homes. And this house is larger and way more comfortable for our family, and it has 5 bedrooms, and the genders of our kids and their ages work out perfectly to have 3 sets of 2 kids pairing up in rooms. So we're only utilizing 4 of the bedrooms, with my husband and I obviously sharing a room too. So we have an extra bedroom, and we just assumed we would use it as either a gym space or a guest room when family comes to visit. I have family that lives out of state that comes often. And anyway, basically in January, I got on to a website that showcases kids who are adoptable in our state of Arizona, who are still in the foster care system, but for one reason or another have not been able to be adopted, and their parents' rights have already been severed. So they're kind of in limbo. And usually they're older kids, and a couple kiddos kind of pulled on my heartstring, and we inquired about one. She had already been matched with a family. And then we inquired about another, and she had not been matched with a family, but she was right in this, her case was in the stages where they were actively trying to match her. And so we decided, we met with our licensing worker who we love, and we decided to renew our license, and we did 2 licenses in one, well, at the same time, not in one, but at the same time. We renewed our foster care license, and then we also got an adoption license through the state of Arizona. So you have to have a home study, and they have to come and check your home, and you have to do all the background checks and all the things. And some of that we'd already done because we had just closed our license in November a couple months earlier. So anyway, fast forward, we had been in the process of trying to match with this teen girl who we were hoping would be able to come live with us from February until May, just about a week ago. And ultimately, they chose a different family for her. And while it was disappointing for us, we would be human not to feel disappointed that we didn't get to be part of her life. We are so confident that her team picked the best family for her and the right situation for her. And so we are thrilled that she is getting to move on to this next step in her process of meeting the family and getting to know them. And her story is incredible, and I just hope the world for her. So that left us with the option to potentially try to match with a different kiddo available for adoption, or to just go ahead and foster again. And we felt really strongly that if it didn't work out with this teen girl, that we would foster again. So we were waiting because that case officially closed for us. And we got a call last week that there was a teen girl who was in a group home and ready to live with a family outside of a group home setting. Most kids don't thrive in group homes. There are some great group homes, but in general, it's not the ideal place for a kiddo to be. And so we had kind of discussed that because of all the kids in our home, we would maybe look for a kid in a group home to see if there would be someone who would match well with our family. We weren't sure we wanted to take on an emergency foster care case because we were afraid of all the unknowns with that. When you take in an emergency foster care placement, typically the only things you know are their name and their age and their gender. Sometimes you don't even get that. And sometimes you don't get some of those other pieces of that puzzle. So we wanted to be able to kind of sort through and make sure it was a good fit, because we do have 6 other children, and we wanted to be very careful that whoever we said yes to wasn't going to be a danger to our other children, or just not a good fit for the dynamics of small children. And there's lots of teens who don't want to be around small kids, and we figured we would stay kind of with teens this time instead of babies. They each have wonderful pros and things that are hard about them both, but we just decided teens was what we would do. So anyway, our licensing worker found a girl who was in a group home ready to move and really matched up so perfectly with our family. One of the big things is that she is doing online school, and we homeschool. So for other people who are working during the day and not home, it's not a great fit for like a working family, but for us, when we're home all day, it was a great fit for us. And she had been moved out of our area a couple hours away and was trying to get back to our exact location, which was also pretty crazy. There were just some really cool things. And the whole time we've been going through this process, I'm getting goosebumps. I have felt like we're gonna be ready at the right time and be in the right place for the right kid, and we'll know, and it'll be right. Gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. And it's time. So because she was in a group home, we were going to do a slow transition. She was going to get to come, and we were going to go up and meet her, just me and my husband, and then take her out to dinner. And then we were going to have her come down here and meet our kids separately at a different visit, and then see our home and maybe do an overnight, and then slowly transition her to our house. So it didn't have to be this like abrupt change for her. And for details I can't discuss, that didn't happen, and it's become more of an emergency that she leave her current placement. And so we haven't met her in person. We have gotten to text her and do a Zoom call with her, which was really awesome. She's a great kid, and she's coming today. So this video is just me setting up her room and her space in her home. I get emotional because I think about the two other kiddos that we've said yes to and what our first days have looked like. And they've all been so incredibly different. And I won't get into those stories, but with every foster care case, it is with excitement and trepidation and some heartbreak that you welcome a child into your home. No kid enters foster care for reasons that are happy. And I like to remember that while we are excited to meet her, this could be a really hard day for her. And in most cases, it's one of the worst days for kids entering care. And so because she's already been in care, I'm hoping that transition will be a little easier for her. But we're just excited to meet her and to love her and accept her and just help her on her journey, whatever that may look like. This is probably not a case where, in this particular case, we are going to be helping her become a successful adult and supporting her in that, whether that is, with her education or jobs or learning to drive, things like that. Those are the kind of the things we want to support and help her do, and just have a safe place to call home. And then also support her in her relationships with her bio family, because we feel that that's so important. And so we're not replacing family, we are just becoming an extension of her family today. So anyway, I'm gonna just kind of share after this, just me setting her room up, putting her bedding together, and some art, and just some things I picked up for her in the store. So a lot of kids entering care don't always have all the things they need, like basic toiletries and socks and underwear and things like that. So I just got her some bathroom stuff, and you're gonna watch the rest of this video.